Hello, everyone. So, yesterday was the International Human Rights Day, and the Amnesty International were holding their event, and ICPC came in. You would think, with all the corruption in Nigeria, that ICPC will have their hands very full, especially corruption from politicians, elected officials, appointees, civil servants, and all of that, military. They will have their hands full, and they will be working around the clock to ensure that they are plugging the holes of corruption, they are recovering our money, they are getting people prosecuted, and all of that. But unfortunately, that's not the case here. And here we have the Sahara reporters reporting this. ICPC operatives storm IHS Towers, Abuja, hold Amnesty International staff hostage, threatening to shoot anyone who leaves. The disruption occurred during the World Human Rights Day presentation being delivered by Amnesty International personnel to commemorate the occasion. Operatives of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission (ICPC) reportedly stormed the IHS Tower office in Wuse 2, Abuja on Thursday, threatening to open fire. Eyewitnesses say that the operatives confiscated over 40 mobile phones, laptops, and smartwatches from staff members. This disruption occurred during a World Human Rights Day presentation being delivered by Amnesty International personnel to commemorate the occasion. Sources at the scene reported that the ICPC officers prevented anyone from leaving or entering the building, holding the Amnesty International staff members hostage in the office. Two staff members from Amnesty International were reportedly still trapped in the building at the time of reporting. The ICPC personnel confiscated over 40 mobile phones, laptops, and smartwatches, one of the sources said. Amnesty International staff making a presentation told the office workers to commemorate the World Human Rights Day are still held hostage in the office as ICPC operatives are threatening to shoot anyone who tries to go out or get into the building. I mean, you could see, what is this show of power for? What is this misuse of power all about? If you have investigation, if you have someone that you think has any corruption issue, you arrest that person. You should have done your working to be able to zero down on someone before you go to a door and arrest. You don't just go with a blanket whatever and just hold people, confiscate people's phones, smartwatches, and laptops, whatever, so that they will not be recording of what you're doing and the other. There's so much abuse of power, that has really been going on, and it's absolutely irritating. They disrupted the Human Rights Day presentation and threatened to shoot anyone who tried to leave the conference room or get in, an agitated source said. IHS Towers commenced operations in Nigeria in 2001. According to its website, the company is dedicated to expanding its services in the country and meeting the growing demand for mobile connectivity. Initially focused on providing, build, whatever, and then they talked about where this thing is headquartered. If you're having a problem with a particular company, the people that are there should not be your problem. At the end of the day, some of the way, and that's why there's usually not enough to be able to get people prosecuted. You say, oh, okay, how do I put it now? You come, when you're doing something, the process in which you either obtain your evidence or got one thing or the other is very important, because if you don't do it the right way, then it becomes easy for a lawyer to be able to just all the work you've done to get it thrown away. And if we see something as simple as, like, I think it's this thing where, like in the US, I don't know whether it's the same thing in Nigeria, when they arrest you and they do not give you those, is it Miranda rights they call it, right? And they don't read that out to you. Whatever that case, whatever evidence they have, the fact that they didn't read that thing to you, a very simple procedural issue, it throws the whole case away. And sometimes this is the way our security agents, sort of behave in this their high-handedness kind of manner, that they end up, useless in case that ought to be tight-proof case. And at the end of the day, people will be blaming the judges, that, oh, the judges are biased, the judges are corrupt, the judges. But the thing is that the judges will not act on anything other than the evidence before them, no matter how something is, even if they know it's true, even if it happened in front of them, they cannot use that knowledge from it. It is only the evidence put before them. Based on that, that's what they're going to act on. And so we keep getting all of this kind of nonsense behavior that comes from security agents, in the way that they do things, in the way and manner that they do this. And Amnesty International have also been persecuted so many times by the Nigerian government, because they always hold them to account, uphold human rights, talk about the abuses. They don't want that to be done. And I know in recent times, looking at the Christian genocide issue, Amnesty International has been at the forefront, putting out. They've always documented the killings that have gone on, and they've put out these numbers. And these are numbers they've been putting out over time. These are data, and you can't argue with data. It is what it is, because it is documented. It is there. It is put out. They will give you date, time. Sometimes they even give you the names. If you say, oh, it's a lie, they will tell you these are the people and these are the things that happened to them. And so, the government, the illegitimate government of Tinubu has been very angry at some of the things that do. Could this also be like a persecution? Going after them, it might not really even be the company or whatever, that it's actually Amnesty International they are going out because of the fact that it has been reporting the killings that have been going on in Nigeria, the genocide that have been going on in Nigeria. But there's a genocide in Nigeria, whether you want to say it's a Muslim genocide, Christian genocide, however you want to put it, there is a genocide in Nigeria. People are being killed. The person that is being killed, his families are being slaughtered, they are driven away from their places of ancestral home. You're not going to start explaining drama to them that, oh, some other people are killed more, whatever. The thing is that they are being killed. They've lost so many people. As far as they are concerned, that's the genocide. That's what else is genocide. You see someone that they've literally killed 20-something, 30-something, 40-something members of their family. What are you telling them? Slaughtered, killed in broad daylight, not accident, not that there was a tsunami, not that there was a volcano, not that there was an earthquake and people died. These are accidents, but deliberately, systematically being wiped out from the surface of the earth by certain groups of people. And you can't tell that person that there's no genocide. So for that person, there's a genocide. But the most important thing is that if we're able to stop that person's genocide, we also will stop every other person's genocide. And so that's what it is. So Amnesty International isn't the problem. It's just simply documenting what is going. The terrorists that we have are the problem, and the government should focus on that. Tinubu's illegitimate should focus on that rather than focusing on the propaganda that is going on. But we'll continue to see where all of this leads to. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.